Hi, so I did a video earlier saying that the most important thing for anything you want to manifest is belief in the process. Well, the second thing, and in some ways it's actually the prior state to believing in everything, is one of the most important things to manifest anything into your life. And that's even not just manifesting on a energetic plane, even just if you go in there in the physical and you want to change something in the slow way. Well, I believe it's a slow way to go in there and like sort of physically beat away at it, is consistency. I think because we realize that we're not doing it in the 3D and we don't have to beat away at doors, and we just have to be and allow. We kind of forget that consistency is still needed, because consistency is needed to actually get into a state where we can manifest instantly and we truly believe, because we only truly believe that we create our reality and understand that we create our reality by consistency in working through our limited beliefs, working, practicing every day and really committing to a process. And it doesn't really matter what the process is, because they all really lead to the same place. It doesn't matter if your process is just being and just being in the moment. That actually takes consistency. You can't just be without, there's always going to be some process of analyzing your thoughts and integrating. And with being, you just want to allow those thoughts, you want to acknowledge them, and then allow them to dissolve and give them no preference, whether they're good or bad. And it's kind of the same in all of the key to all of this is non-reaction to the 3D and the things that you don't want. If you're, working on really manifesting stuff, then again, the consistency is not accepting what's showing up in your reality and either affirming the opposite, scripting the opposite, integrating those limiting beliefs, looking at them, and again, not giving them preference, not allowing them into your reality, and just continuing to affirm the opposite. And yes, it does end up where it's like a natural process and you do just be and you just think something and it shows up. But if you're not at that point, and you're not either being and you're feeling joy and bliss, or you're not, then there does need to be consistency of some kind of practice. And I think this is where a lot of people fail, and I include myself, is we do something for a bit and we're like, oh, it's not working, so then we just drop it. And all of these things require consistency. If it's affirming, you can't just affirm for like an hour or a day or necessarily even a week if those beliefs are really ingrained. It's going to take time. And a lot of people give up before the results show. And I think, there's different reasons for this. One of them is actually self-sabotage as well, is the fear of actually getting the things that they want. And then there's also like self-worth issues. Do you really value yourself and love yourself enough to have all the things that you're wanting and asking for? And that's actually like a really big one. I know that was a big block for me, and still is, like I'm still working through a lot of that. And I used to get everything like this that I'd ever dreamt of very, very easily. I just get into an alignment, into an energy, everything would drop in, and then it was like I would self-sabotage or stop doing the consistent things, and I would just forget about my practice, and I would dive into it, and then before I knew it, like it would all drop away again. And this pattern was something that really repeated a lot for me. And on a deeper level, when I really analysed it, it was that I didn't really feel worthy of getting the work that I wanted, or being able to help people in the way that I wanted to help people. And it's like I'd get started and I'd get ramped up and then it would fall away. And that's where the consistency needs to come in. You can't just love yourself for an hour because you're feeling really, really empowered because you've just been to the gym, and then you manifest and everything comes in. And if you don't consistently stick to affirming or being or non-judgment or doing some kind of practice every day, then, you know, it's going to drop away. And I think we've all had that happen where we've like really manifested something, we've been seeing results, and then we stop doing it and we've seen it all fall away. You know, everything takes consistency. Even if it's meditating, it's a consistent process to learn to meditate. And if you can't stick to something consistently, then it's about looking at the blocks as to why you can't be consistent. Because sometimes that laziness or that procrastination actually is covering something more. It's covering, you know, a lack of self-worth or some kind of limiting belief. And then it's still about consistency, because it's about acknowledging those limiting beliefs and working through them so you can be consistent. Sometimes to be consistent takes consistency in affirming, you know, or shifting your mindset, or looking at your blocks. And you know, it's not going to necessarily be an instant process. And that, you know, you don't actually have to necessarily push yourself to do things. So say, for example, I say, oh, I want to start waking up at 6 every morning. It's not like I have to force myself out of bed. That is one option. There's always a way to do it in the 3D, and there's always a way to do it energetically. Or I can just continue to affirm to myself that I love getting up at 6 a.m. It's great to get up at 6 a.m. I really love the feeling when I'm up at 6 a.m. I love that it's so quiet. I love how much I get done with my day. And you consistently affirm. So, I mean, you can choose the route. You can consistently affirm, or you can consistently get yourself out of bed, even if you feel like shit, and get through the day, and it will become easier. And it's just, you know, if you can't get to that stage, then you just sit and you just affirm every day how much you love getting up at 6 a.m. And this consistency, you know, it really, I've gone on and off, hence why, you know, it took me a long time to master. Well, I haven't mastered, no one's really mastered, but it took me a long time to even get to the point that I'm at now, because I dropped off and on a lot. And even with that amount of consistency, though, you know, I have been consistent in clumps, and it's really taken a long time to sort of shift my inner energy and to shift myself into really understanding that I create my own reality and taking ownership and catching my thoughts. All of it is a process, and all of it takes, you know, persistent effort to get better. And just because we're not working in the 3D world and we're working on an energetic field, it doesn't mean that it's not the same process of consistency to achieve. Even if that's to be in alignment. You know, being sounds all very simple. It just sounds like being, but that it's a consistent process of analyzing your thoughts, integrating your thoughts, and not getting like caught up in your thoughts. Even the power of now, you know, that's a consistent process. It's not something that people can just read and then, oh yeah, I'm going to be today, you know. Else I'm sure everyone would just be in complete peace and joy if it was that easy. So yeah, this is something that I feel is a really big key, and it probably comes before belief, because if you don't have the belief and the knowing, then you need to work on some consistency to get that belief, be it affirming that you know you create your reality, and, you know, practicing with little things, or whatever it is that allows you to get into that knowing, is what you need to be working on. So yeah, I hope that helps everyone, and I'll check in with you soon.